What's up everyone? My name is Zach and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be telling you guys about the books that I really wanted to get to this year, but I'm just simply not going to be able to. The year is very quickly coming to an end and I'm preparing for all of my end of the year lists. And yeah, so I am reading right now. In fact, I'm working on a few videos and I have a few stuff planned for the rest of the year. But for the most part, I'm kind of just wrapping up my year now. And I want to really reflect on my year and take time to do that and think about what I want to do differently next year or do more of. And so I'm reading less. So a lot of my videos at this time of the year are going to be like wrapping up the year. And then in today's video, like I said, I'm going to talk about all the books that I said I was going to read this year and just didn't. So yeah, welcome. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you haven't already, subscribing to my channel helps me out a ton. A like on the video goes a long way. And I would love to know in the comments, what books did you want to read this year that you didn't get to? Because I know I'm not alone in this. We do this every year, but sometimes for whatever reason, we don't always get to the books that we wanted to get to. So yeah, this is the video of shame, but I know that I'm not alone, so I'm not going to allow that shame to feel too hard right now. One book that this book came out in May, but I actually pre-ordered this about this time last year. This book is called The Ferryman. I don't know that much about it, except for it's like a post-apocalyptic end of the world kind of book, I believe. It says, standalone novel about a group of survivors on a hidden island utopia where the truth isn't what it seems. Now that's giving me Dead 11 vibes, which is a book that I really, really loved this year. But yeah, this is by the author of The Passengers or something like that. I don't know, it was made into a TV show. But the reason I really wanted to read it is because it's big. I really do like big books and I cannot lie. Anyways, we'll pretend that didn't happen. I do like big books because they often like well-developed stories. I've also liked slower paced books this year, which is new for me. And those books tend to be longer. And I like the premise of this book. Oh, The Passage, it says it right there. If only I would read something. But yeah, The Ferryman is one that I really wanted to get to this year. And I also haven't heard many people talk about it, which I think is interesting. But yeah, a book that I have heard some people talk about, but not many, is The Wishing Game. The story behind this, or the concept of this book, is that, actually, let me just review it and make sure that I'm getting it right. Years ago, a reclusive, mega best-selling author quit writing under mysterious circumstances. Suddenly, he resurfaces with a brand new book and a one-of-a-kind competition, offering a prize that will change the winner's life. Yeah, so I just remember that it's like this really intense competition about writing, and I think they're on like a reclusive island, and I love that. I love being stuck in the middle of nowhere. I mean, I don't want that for me, but I love it when characters are, because it stresses me out without me having to be there. Yeah, but The Wishing Game, yeah, I've heard good things about it from the people who have read it, and I kept putting it on TBRs this month, maybe not even in videos, but like in my mind. I was like, I really want to read this. I tried to come up with video concepts that would fit the mold for this, and it just didn't end up happening this year. So part of what I'm hoping to do in this video is hold myself accountable for next year. So maybe a fun video idea, let's say that loosely. A fun video idea would be maybe in May to kind of revisit this video that I'm making and see if I end up getting to any of these, because I do truly want to read these books. I just have to figure out a way to fit them into video ideas I have, or maybe just not give a fuck and read them anyways and review them. That's a thought. I'm in a mood today, if you can't tell. So let's just carry on. Another book that came out this year, The True Love Experiment by Christina Lauren. This is a companion novel to The Soulmate Equation, which I read in 2022. Yeah, in 2022, and I really, really loved. We actually read it back when I had Patreon. I do YouTube membership now, but back when I had Patreon, we read The Soulmate Equation as a group, and it was hit or miss for people, but the people who really liked it, like really liked it. I enjoy Christina Lauren's writing. I don't know, sue me. I know that they're not like as popular as they used to be. It seems like people are reading a lot more smut now, and I would say that Tessa Bailey, there's definitely spice in it, but they're not smutty books. They're rom-coms. Like, they're genuinely funny, in my opinion, and that's what I really like about them. They're not super serious. There definitely are a lot of romance books that I read them because I like the serious undertone of them, and it also has a romance. But then there are just straight up rom-coms I read because I want to laugh. I want to laugh at people who are falling in love or are in love, because sometimes that stuff is just funny, and we do funny things, and I love that. So this is a companion novel. It follows the best friend from the main one. I actually have no idea what this is about. I don't want to know. I just want to go in like fresh. At one point I knew what this was about, but I don't anymore. This is the Afterlight edition, I believe. Yeah, Afterlight edition, and it is signed, and yeah. There's a I just got distracted because there's a quote on the back. There's a universe expanding in my rib cage, stars and planets and all kinds of dangerous sparkling debris that could destroy me. Girl, what? Okay. The True Love Experiment. Okay, moving on. Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. This I wanted to read because also in 2022, at the end of 2022, I read The Atlas Six and I did not like that book. And then this past summer, I randomly picked up One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake, which was one of her newer releases. It's a Romeo and Juliet retelling, and I loved it. I was like, what is this candy? I need more of it. And so I was like, maybe I should read her other books that aren't the Atlas Six. And so the next one that appealed to me, this one's really about mental health, I believe, and it's also a romance novel. Yeah, it says a love story on the cover. But I didn't want to read it because I didn't like the Atlas Six, and I thought that Olivia Blake was like too on the nose for me. But then again, I read One for My Enemy and I devoured it and I loved it. So I was like, okay, I need to read all of her books, including the Atlas Six. I need to give another go. And the one that kept popping up to me was Alone with You in the Ether. This is another one that I tried to put on multiple TBRs, never got around to reading it, hence why it's on this list. I've also been doing a lot of author spotlight videos where I'm reading all of their books, and Olivia Blake is one of those that I want to do. So that definitely could be a reason to do it in 2024, and I'm holding myself accountable through this video. I'm actually not sure when this book came out, but it is, let's see, 2023. There's that lovely page that tells you all the things about the book, but it is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, and I believe that the sequel to this is actually about to come out. What I understand about this, it actually reminds me, the premise of this vaguely reminds me of a Disney movie that I loved. I cannot remember the name of it, so if the premise I'm going to tell you sounds familiar, please put in the comments what Disney movie this is. But it is essentially a story about a girl who goes to live with her reclusive dad. Reclusive? That's the second time I've used that word in this video, and I don't actually know if that's the right word. Welcome to my channel if you're new here. This is a normal thing for me. But she goes to stay with the Disney movie, not this book. She goes to stay with her dad, and he's like obsessed with plants. And he believes that the plants and like insect like world all are like a greater thing. Actually, Beyonce, I think, is a voice actor in this movie. And so she goes and he's working on this invention that would make him really small so that he can go study the plants. And what happens is she gets shrunk or he gets shrunk and goes to live with the plant. I'm not describing it well, but yeah. Okay, this book, if you know what that movie is, please let me know. This book is about a girl who studies fairies, I believe, and she goes off somewhere to study it, and she ends up meeting this professor of these studies who, it's like an enemies to lovers sort of thing with a little bit of fantasy. What's the word? Cozy fantasy, romance kind of thing. I really gravitated toward this because for some reason it reminds me of A Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, because I guess it's like the cozy fantasy with romance that I really like or have liked in the past, and so this reminded me of it. But again, couldn't find a video. Maybe I just need to make a video that's either reading these books that I have here in this video, or just make a video of books that I'm reading, because who actually cares if there's a theme? No one. Speaking of, I mean, I do, because I like organized and fun things, but like, I know that you guys just want me to review books, so I should lean into that more. Another book that I have been wanting to read is 56 Days by Catherine Ryan Howard. This is example 2 of an author that I wanted to read all of their books, and so I bought all of them because that's a thing that I do. But I picked up this one for this video instead of holding the whole stack because that would be very, very heavy. But because along with The Nothing Man, 56 Days is one of the ones that I have been very intrigued with the premise since it came out. This is a pandemic book, and it actually came out pretty like soon into the pandemic. Like, I don't know, when was it published? Let's check out that handy dandy sheet that tells us all the publishing information. 2021. This book came out in 2021. See? Soon. Too soon, some might say. I actually did hear that in a review of this book. I heard that it was too soon. But this is essentially a story about 2 people who are quarantined together. I think they just met on like a dating app, and then one of them ends up dead. I'm not exactly sure what happens. I think it might appear to be a suicide, but then when they look into it, there's more to it. I don't know, but I want to read all of her books. This just happens to be the one that I'm kind of most excited about. And then last but not least, for those of you who have been on my channel for a really long time, this book will look very familiar to you. Actually, that reminds me, this year I did do a good job of reading books that I wanted to get to, like The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue I recently read. I finally read House in the Cerulean Sea. There's a number of books that I finally got to. I'm talking to my bookshelf as if you're going to be able to hear what I'm saying, but I did do a good job actually of getting to books that I wanted to get to. There were just so many more that I didn't get to that I wanted to. And one of those is Muse of Nightmares by Laini Taylor. A friend of mine, Julian, bought me Strange the Dreamer, and we actually read it together, and I devoured it and loved it. I had never read anything like it. And it ends on like a big cliffhanger, and so I really wanted to read this. This has to happen in 2024, okay? I'm getting a lot better at following through with plans, and so I really believe that I will read these books in 2024. I feel very capable now, and I'm very thankful that my mental health is in a better state, and I'm able to read and complete things and ideas that I always wanted to, but really struggled to in the past. So thank you guys for being patient with me while I am getting better. Yeah, so Muse of Nightmares. Let's review all the books that I put in this video. Okay, hold on. I was picking up a book that I was filming for a vlog before this, which you don't need to know about because it's the first episode of season 2 of What the Bleep, which will be coming out very soon. Okay, Muse of Nightmares, 56 Days, Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, Alone with You in the Ether, True Love Experiment, The Wishing Game, The Ferryman. Boom. All the books that I wanted to get to this year that I didn't. This is the shame video. Welcome. Post your shameful comments below of all the books that you wanted to get to this year that you did not. I also want to say a very special thank you to the Mostly Ghostly crew for supporting my channel every month. Thank you guys so much. I have a channel membership if you're interested in joining. Every month we meet on Discord and a video chat and we hang out and we talk about life. There's a separate section of Discord where we talk about life and books. Every other month we read a book together for a book club and discuss. They get to vote on content, and yeah, it's just a good time. It's a great connection point, and I think people really enjoy the time that we get to spend together. My dogs apparently have something to say about that. I'm gonna go figure out what that is. All right, a very special thank you to you for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Say